Yeah. All right, Cal, we live, man. You know
True
how we
news.
get.
Yes, yes. Real Spill Israel. Bob the Water God. True news and
Yep.
reviews once again. So it's a lot going on today. The Trump organization done got found guilty, and we got a runoff race going on with Raphael Warnock and Herschel Walker.
Oh yeah, yeah. So
Who you
hey,
think is
so
gonna win
listen,
that? Yo,
how you feel about that Trump news, man? How you feel about Trump, man?
I think it's pretty damn crazy, as a matter of fact. So I'm anxious to see what's going to happen in terms of like punishment. I mean, we know that he's guilty. The organization is guilty. So what happens next? That's what I'm curious about.
But is it me like they raiding his home? They do it just seems like dang, like he got the wrong. It must be a side. I don't know, but I never heard of presidents going through stuff like this. This is crazy.
Well, if you have unprecedented inputs, then you get unprecedented outputs, if I'm saying that correctly.
Mm.
And he's doing shit we ain't ever seen a president do. So we're gonna see shit happen to him that we never seen happen to a president before.
Good way to put that.
Yeah, but I got something I wanted to read on that because it's interesting that people in the Trump organization was telling, man. I guess you got to expect that at all ages, levels of the game.
Trump organization was telling.
Yeah, people in the Trump organization was definitely telling. Um, if you look at the Rolling Stone article, they say Donald Trump's company was found guilty of tax fraud in a weeks-long Manhattan criminal fraud trial, during which prosecutors claimed the ex-president was explicitly sanctioning tax fraud, and the organization was convicted on all 9 counts it faced, while the Trump Payroll Corporation was convicted on another 8 counts, and the jury deliberated for less than 2 days. So that's just a good kind of jump off point that we could start with it. Uh, there's no kind of doubt that that Trump explicitly sanctioned some illegal tax scheme,
Mm-hmm.
but we don't know what the sentencing process is going to be like yet. Matter of fact, if you want to see some more details, I'll put it on the screen.
So we know you like to see that, boy.
Oh yeah, man. I like to see Trump go down. I don't think he's good for the country. You know what I'm saying? I usually don't take pleasure in watching somebody go down, but when he announces that he's running for president, I kind of need him out the way, respectfully.
What?
I need him out the way. I don't think he's good for the country, man. I don't know if we could really weather another 8 more years with that dude, or 4 more years with that dude. I
Hey
don't think
man,
we could do that. Hold on.
he got a cult following, man. So
Yeah, we know all that, bro. We know all that. Hold on. Let me go ahead and pull that thing up.
do you think this gonna stop him from running?
That's a good question. No, because I think him running is just a scheme to make money. You get what I'm trying to say? So I think like Trump is smart enough to realize that you could make money just from losing an election. But here we go. Weisselberg copped to a 15-count indictment in August for these purported payouts. The septuagenarian answered, "Yes, Your Honor," when the judge, Juan Merchant, questioned if he engaged in a scheme with the Trump organization to defraud federal, New York State, and New York City tax authorities. And Weisselberg's bombshell admission appeared to directly place Trump's business at the center of criminal wrongdoing, including tax fraud and falsification of business records. Weisselberg served as prosecutor's star witness at the trial, and he linked Trump's companies to illegal tax practices. Weisselberg told jurors that the rent on his free apartment was authorized by Donald Trump. He said that the Trump Corporation paid his utility fees and said it was my understanding that this practice was green lighted by Trump. Weisselberg also said that Trump covered his grandchildren's private school fees. Prosecutors claimed that this was a taxable benefit. I mean, I don't think we need to read too much more of that. I mean, that boy is definitely telling. You know, so I don't know. Do you think that
Nobody
you
going to jail about this, man.
mm, Weisselberg already copped out to a plea deal? So
Yeah, he got probation or something, man.
let me see what he copped out to.
We ain't talking about no time here, dude. We talking about
They
Scott.
say if Weisselberg took the stand under a plea deal with prosecutors, though it's not a cooperation agreement. Weisselberg was required to testify truthfully if called to take the stand. If Weisselberg did so, he would receive a 5-month jail sentence and 5 years probation. Weisselberg won't learn his sentence until the trial wraps to ensure compliance. Merchant has warned that failure to comply could result in far more time behind bars. So, yeah, that boy, I mean, as far as telling goes, that's a sweet deal. I mean, 5 months jail time, probably going to go to like a federal, cushy resort, white collar joint.
Learn how
Sounds
to
like he got a little
get
sweet
away with
deal.
something.
Yeah, and if,
Trump ain't going to jail though, man.
mm, I don't know. We never seen a former president go to jail before. So,
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. If he do, I mean, I don't know, but that'll be like, wow.
I
What
don't
you
know.
think? Do Trump deserve to go to jail?
Hey, look, I ain't trying to crack a case. I let the people do what they do and let the cards fall where they may. You know what I'm saying? We got a justice system that's trying his ass for that. You know what I'm saying? So,
For
hey,
January
man.
6th, do you think storming in and
Oh,
be
inciting the riot and stuff like that.
yeah,
I
would
think
you
if I was
damn
on the jury, I probably would have voted like, yeah, man. He got, he played some kind of part in this. I ain't gonna lie. I don't want to dwell on Trump too much though. I want to at least take a look at the dang where the Warnock race is at right now, just to give the people an update. This is a historic moment, really. You know, we might remember where we was at the night that Warnock lost to Herschel Walker or won over Herschel Walker, and it's scary because Herschel Walker he could barely even speak. So for him to be one of 100 senators is a scary thought to me. Now, it's we're looking at the count right now. It's 50.1% to 49.9%. So that's super tight. That's like a difference of like what, Sam 1,000 votes or so.
Oh, but they talk about Herschel Walker so bad, but it seems so competitive.
I know that's what's scary. Like it kind of makes you wonder, like what the hell is going
What
on
is
in
this?
Georgia to where the
No,
race
it's
could even be this tight.
right. It seems like a sport. You get what I mean?
Uh, if it was a sport, I feel better about Herschel Walker being a leader and taking a leadership position. But when it comes to the country, I don't think that guy has any business even being in the race. I think Raphael Warnock is clearly a smarter guy. And he just has proven himself to not be credible. Anybody that, you
So
know,
you
it,
with me there saying that Herschel Walker's a plant in this?
what you mean a plan? When you say plan, what you mean?
Where they put him in there, there's no reason I don't think 1,500 people voted for Herschel Walker.
I think he's a useful idiot. He's somebody that the Republicans could use to do their bidding, and he's been getting donations
So
from the richest people in the world. Like,
right. So you're basically this is what I'm saying. So you're basically saying like we know this guy's not gonna win it if he win it. Like nobody's voting for him, but
what you mean nobody's voting for him? You see how tight that race is? People voting for him. The fact that we even have a runoff right now is showing you he has support. But it is Georgia at the end of the day. You know what I'm saying?
right, that's his home state.
I mean, and you know what's crazy? It's been proven that Herschel Walker doesn't even live in Georgia.
So he got these big donors. This is what I'm saying. Can
Hmm.
he be a plant? Because we're saying some weird
When you
stuff
say plant, what do you mean?
that he's paid to do this.
To run?
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, that's pretty clear. That's pretty clear. I don't think this is all about him doing stuff out of the goodness of his heart, but I don't know. What make you say he's paid, and who's paying him? You mean to say?
Well, I don't know. I just hear the same. It's just like the negative that we hear around his name. It just seems like um, he was put there. It's like a, you know, it's like make it interesting, like make it entertaining, you know. But we got to put a, we got to put one of them in there that's like, not qualified, not none of this, and just I just don't see how we got to that point, man. With all of the, that's all. It's
I
like weird.
think I think I think in some sense you could say that he's I guess you could say a plant. I mean, he's definitely not qualified. I think he's somebody that they felt like Georgians would vote for because he has name recognition, because he was a great football player. I think that they felt like people were dumb enough to overlook how unqualified he is just because he's a Republican and a former football player, to be honest. And they rolled the dice with it, and
I
hopefully,
think
Georgia gets it done, man.
right. I just see like it's like more than that. It's just so much stuff
Yeah,
being spilled about him, and so much is out. His family ain't messing. It's just messy. It's a messy situation, and it's like,
yeah, a
you
messy situation of his own doing, though. I mean, these charges against him have merit. Is all I'm trying to say.
right.
He's
So you
he's he's saying that he's against abortions 100%, absolutely, even in cases of rape or incest. But we know that he's paid for several abortions, and the women are showing receipts. They have literal. When I say receipts, the woman had a money order from Herschel Walker and a get well card that he gave her to pay for the abortion. And she said that she stopped messing with him because she got pregnant again, and he was threatening her, like trying to, intimidate her into having an abortion. So that's not the kind of guy that I think is fit to be,
but then
senator.
at the other hand, somebody has to separate certain it's politics. This is like you said. At some point, bro, we're gonna have to separate their beliefs, what they trying to do. I get that. If that's what we going by, because if that's what we going by, then with everybody, it's like we got to do that with everybody. You know what I mean?
That's fine. I'm not holding Herschel Walker to some standard that I wouldn't hold any other candidate to. I think that if you prove to be somebody that's just a hypocrite, I don't think that's gonna instill confidence in me voting for you or thinking that you're gonna stand on your morals or your convictions. I think you're just gonna say, I think you're just gonna be a puppet.
Yeah.
I don't know. We can move on though. How you feel about this whole Deion Sanders situation? I saw my timeline going hard on Deion Sanders. I said this on Facebook. It seemed like my timeline was angrier at Deion than they was Brett Jewett Favre.
That's a good analogy because he was actually that's in the state.
Yeah, the same.
That's
It was a
crazy.
Mississippi thing. You know what I'm saying? It's like, damn. You know what I'm saying? Like everybody got a long paragraph about why Dion, you feel me, messed up for leaving. But it's like, dang, when I wanted to talk about the Brett Favre thing, it was like nobody was engaging with me. And I'm like, y'all more mad that he stayed there and won two championships, wasn't it? Wasn't it two championships he won?
Yeah.
And y'all mad that he left after coming there. I mean, dang, can he get credit for what he did? How long should he have stayed to make y'all happy? How much should he even care about what makes somebody else happy? What if he decided within his heart that he's done enough for
No,
HBCUs?
no, the real reason is, man, they had the water crisis over there, and as everybody know that at envirely.com where you can get your water treatment system wholesale if you need. But
That's right.
definitely it was a water issue there. He didn't have the right, it wasn't a comfortable situation for him. I don't think it's been a long time for Deion Sanders probably had to live amongst a in conditions of these measures. And
Yeah, he's Deion Sanders. He's prime time. He ain't had to put up with this bullshit nowhere else. You know what I'm saying? So I'm surprised he stayed that long, frankly. But I think this article here catches a lot of good reactions from other people in, let's say, the black community. Can I say that?
mhm.
So yeah, I think this would be good to get into. Hold on. Black America speaks out over Coach Prime leaving 300K a year HBCU job for 5 million at Colorado. Damn, 300K a year compared to 5 million a year. That's crazy. Football legend Deion Sanders, known as Primetime during his Hall of Fame playing days and known as Coach Prime, is leaving historically black university Jackson State University to become head coach at the University of Colorado Boulder. Let's keep in mind Mississippi is the poorest state. You Sanders' decision has sparked a debate. Some say he is selling out by leaving the HBCU. Others say it's a great opportunity in a bigger arena, one Sanders deserves. Sanders first told the team at Jackson State on December 3rd before Colorado made the news official. He will be making north of 4.5 million annually, according to reports. This is much more than the 300K he was getting annually at the HBCU. Um, While at Jackson, Sanders donated half of his salary to Jackson State to complete the football facility, the Clarion Ledger reported. In 2020, Sanders signed a 4-year deal worth 1.2 million over 3 years for an average of 300K per year. Sanders has spent the past 3 seasons as the head coach at Jackson State in Mississippi. During this time, the team has amassed a 27-5 overall record in 2 Southwestern Athletic Conference SWAC championships. This season, Sanders has coached the Jackson State Tigers to a 12-0 record. At Colorado, Sanders will replace Carl Durrell, who was fired in October. Yvette Carnell chimed in, and she says, "This is why they say he ain't swag." You see that there, Bob?
Right.
Yeah. You know me, I got the utmost respect for Yvette Carnell. I always recommend people check out her YouTube channel because she has a strong opinion and she
Well, why
backs
would
it
they
up with
say he ain't
report.
swag? I'm still not. Wait.
Well, they saying he ain't swag because he done left, for greener pastures. You know, remember when that other coach said that he ain't swag? He ain't. I guess he ain't really down for the HBCUs, is what they saying, and that's what they saying. He done came and I guess used the HBCUs as a stepping stool to go to the next level. So there were a number of highly qualified and impressive candidates interested in becoming the next head football coach at Colorado, but none of them had the pedigree, the knowledge, and the ability to connect with the student athletes like Deion Sanders. Colorado athletic director Rick George said in a statement, "Not only will Coach Prime energize our fan base, I'm confident that he will lead our program back to national prominence while leading a team of a team of high quality and high character." Excuse me. So try to skip around. Um, um, I want to shout out Yvette here. American Descendants of Slavery co-founder Yvette Carnell wasn't too impressed. She mocked Sanders in her tweet, writing, "This is why they say he ain't swag," referring to the Southwestern Athletic Conference, a collegiate athletic conference which is made up of HBCUs in the southern United States. Yeah, that explains it so much better. Now we're getting into the other black people reacting. A political analyst, social influencer Boyce Watkins seemed to agree. He tweeted, "I love Deion Sanders, but you can't say you're swag and HBCU when most of us knew you were just waiting to get a better deal." Tweeter Dave Jackson responded to Watkins' post, tweeting, "If true, Deion is worse than a sellout. Used black kids, black institution as a doormat. Individual profit is the enemy of collective progress. Black folks don't need that. You have a right to put self first. Just stay out of black business, though, if that's how you roll."
You see,
What do I see? What?
I can just understand and see somebody's opinion, on that,
Oh, so you was feeling the energy by
not just
Dave
like
Jackson.
feeling. I gotta respect everybody's opinion on what they stand on.
You have to respect everybody's opinion. That's what you said.
Yeah.
That's crazy to me. I'm not gonna respect everybody's opinion.
I mean, on this situation, I mean, like of our people on how they feel, like that's how they feel. I mean, I guess we got a different but whatever. We gotta,
Yeah, not all opinions are to be respected.
yeah. I mean, that's biased too, though.
I don't think that's bias at all. I mean,
Uh,
we're all biased to a degree,
yeah.
but to say that we should respect everybody's opinion, there's some people who, you know, maybe feel like their opinion is that black should be a bottom caste of society. That's their opinion. Should I respect that? Some people have an opinion that the earth is flat. Should I respect that? I don't know. You know what I'm saying? I don't think all opinions are worthy of respect. But I think he had a fair where he was coming at. I mean, let me tell you where I went where I could differ with this.
Right.
Uh, when he said individual profit is the enemy of collective progress, I disagree with that. I think you could get money and still work towards collective progress.
Okay,
He said
so
he.
I told you right now, could
Mhm.
you get money and still work for pushing and be on, if it was like getting that bag, but your job was, you was getting that bag, but you could still be on democratic values. Could you still do that? Could you still walk both of them lines?
Huh? Can you state that again? Like, what's the question?
You like, what's the question? I said just so you can understand where he's coming from, just like you said, hey man, for that money, I couldn't even rock on the Republican side. For that paper, I couldn't do it. Just morally, not me. I couldn't do it. So what I'm telling you is just how he feels. Okay. He probably like, hey man, when you go, you can't go on that side. That's like morally
Yeah,
not me.
to me, that's like a bad comparison. We're not talking about leaving the Democrats to go work for Republicans. It's not the same. It's just he's leaving to go to another football team. I just don't think that's like a good comparison.
No, but somebody like this guy, I'm saying from what he's saying on how he feels about it, they are stronger on that for you to just, it's not just football for them. it's a HBCU. They take it's more prideful. You get me? It's not like I get what you're saying. You're saying it's just football, but they take that HBCU pride like someone would take, you know, they take that HBCU serious, bro. That's all I'm saying.
He said black folks don't need that. You have the right to put self first. Just stay out of black business though, if that's how you roll. So now Deion, he can't get involved with black business no more because
No,
he
basically
wants
they
to
saying
he
no,
wants to
no, no,
excel.
no. Listen, I'm just trying to give you his point.
Hmm.
Basically, he's just saying is, look, we need help to get collective help here. We need to uplift this, and nobody not knocking. I'm just saying. So he's saying, look, I don't want people to get comfortable with just, you know what I'm saying, coming over here and just dropping their nuts and then leaving. You feel me? And not really, they just came through to just drop their nuts and just get on, get on. It's like they're trying to really get change in the stuff that they're doing. So
That's crazy because I don't think there's like any shortage of qualified coaches, man. There's probably a guy out there that could coach a team just as good as Deion Sanders,
he
bro.
probably
And,
can, but Dion got probably the most biggest impact probably
I hear
in a
you.
long
Fair enough. Well, let's hear some more opinions. Dion, this is imaginary billionaire JD. Dion leaving the SWAC restores order in the FBS. That's what integration does. It removes your leaders from your community and gives them a token spot in theirs. In turn, they end the movement and retain control.
and you like when I talk about Republican, but we know that money and
I
money
mean,
and
you,
influence.
I get it. It's just not a good comparison to me. Like it wasn't a compelling comparison to me. I get it. You know what I'm saying? I heard you out. It's just not a good comparison.
Oh, but I'm just seeing from how they saying it, they like it's not just football.
No, I get it. It's not just football. They're saying that. Yeah, I mean, I guess yeah. If they feel like the HBCU is the best thing for Black people, that's fine. They I'm sure they have reasons for that. Maybe they could convince me. I'm open to
No, they're
having.
trying to restore it. They're trying to get this on track, and it's gonna need help. It's not where it's at. It's not where it's at. HBCUs need a lot of help. Dion
e-
did something that Brady made it aware, but it's
Exactly. So, do you think that Dion left HBCUs in a better position than it was than before he found it? Do you think the HBCU uh, movement is in a better position now, having Dion have come down there,
no,
or
because
is it worse off?
when you see how much money Dion got at Colorado, when that same impact Dion got, and they see where that money at, and they understand it now, man, that money. I think that by him being a sacrifice, it kind of made people go there with his impact. But I think it's gonna take somebody that's gonna be able to sacrifice. You know what I mean? To say we going to a
I
HBC.
just think that you niggas wouldn't have been happy no matter what he did, bro. The nigga done took 300K,
I'm
gave half of
happy
the
for him.
movie
No,
back to the
me.
institutions. No, I'm just saying these
It
people
would have
holding
been
this
some.
continue. You defending their position, so you with him. I'm
No,
saying
I'm
that
just
no
trying to.
matter what he did, y'all would have came up with a way to criticize him.
I'm
That's
just
why. That's
saying
how
the
I feel.
HBCU on how they feel
Yeah,
about
I
it.
get all of that. You know what I'm saying? I've been listening to you say all of that. That's cool. And I'm saying that no matter what the nigga would have did, y'all would have said he ain't do enough for HBCUs. Now the plight of HBCUs rests in Dion's hands solely. He got to be the sole person to save all HBCUs. Who else gonna step up? Dion the only person? Okay, he gave his time and he left. What is it going? What is going to be
Sound like
enough?
it just sound
What
like
is
he
going
went
to
to
be
jail.
enough?
He did his time and left. Just sound like
Let's hear what Kevin W. Cosby has to say. This the one who they say said that he wanted Dion to fail straight up. He
yeah,
said,
he tripping. Now I'm gonna
let's
get.
hear him out. Let's hear him out. You know what I'm saying?
Go ahead.
He says I am simply saying that Dion comes off culturally like he is rooted in our struggle. He is not. he takes time to rebuild black institutions. You have to, no, he says it takes time to rebuild black institutions. You have to plant your mailbox in concrete. I know because I am the only person in history to restore an HBCU. You have to love black people. How you feel about that?
Yeah. I mean, this man is on a cause. This man probably doing something, and he probably done restored one, dropped his bag off in one. You know, he was paying. Is this the guy that was paying Deion 300,000?
No,
Who is this guy then?
he's Kevin W. Cosby. Uh,
He's the
God
owner of
dang.
HBCU Jackson State.
No, he's like the he's president of HBCUs, or he used to be, or yeah, I think he's the current president of
I'm the
HBCUs.
only person in history. Hold on. What put?
He's the
He's the
only
only
person
person in history to restore an
in
HBCU.
HBCU. He said you have to love black people.
Oh, you have to love black people. Oh, he's saying that.
I just think that listen, when you to me, that's like using that five on the black hand side shit to manipulate people, man. They try to guilt you into doing more, and why should why should his blackness come into question, right? For him to say
Oh,
that,
this
you
man
have to
said
love.
his blackness coming.
Hold on. Let me just say my point. I read his point out. I asked you what you feel about it. Let me just say my point. This guy is talking about he's look, let's break it down. I'm simply saying that Deion comes off culturally like he's rooted in our struggle. He's not. How does him being there for a few years make you feel like he's rooted in the struggle when he just got over there 3 years ago? It's not like this man was an activist all his life or whatever. But if that was enough to convince you or whatever, but I mean, if he's saying that he comes off like that and he's not, okay,
Bro,
maybe he's not rooted in the struggle. Now he's saying it takes time to rebuild at black institutions. You have to plant your mailbox in the concrete. I'm feeling all of that. I know because I'm the only person in history to restore an HBCU. I respect that. You have to love black people. So what you trying to say? Deion doesn't love black people. That's what I don't like. He was riding.
bro,
He had me riding, but now you trying to make it seem like he don't love black people, or to say like you blacker than Deion because you dedicated your life to this and he got a different career path for himself. It's okay to big up what you saw, see, big up what you did, but you don't got to tear other people down to do that.
yeah,
You
yeah.
know what I'm saying? Just because everybody ain't dedicated their life to working at an HBCU, that don't make you blacker, so to speak. I'm glad that you chose to do that, dog, but that don't give you the right to say that he don't love black people. I don't think that's fair, bro.
Well, this is why, and this is why I say that the harm that was done to black people needs to be more aware. The businesses, all of the, you know, we got to get past that. We got to settle with that,
Mm-hmm.
because there are people that, like you said, they feel that this is bigger than anything else. And we not talked about it. People ain't compensating it. So we have to really build it ourselves. We ain't got justice. So we're starting
And
from the
this is my whole thing. The people who's being more, I didn't mean to cut you off, but something just came to my mind. These people who's being morality police. How much money you think they donated to a HBCU this year?
Oh, what you mean?
The people that is on my timeline criticizing uh
Yeah,
Deion Sanders.
they probably yeah, and I don't like to criticize it. I'm just we have to understand, know the narrative. If we done got if everybody can lure your if every and I understand this is just football, but I'm saying this happens in politics, this happens in business, this happens in a lot of stuff. It ain't just football. You get what I'm saying? So I get when people seeing that with the context, but I'm just saying.
I guess if there wasn't enough football coaches to go around, I would feel what you're saying. But bro, Deion Sanders, they're acting like, yo, we only got so many good football coaches. They're just gonna keep poaching our. No, you find another good football coach. It's that simple. Let's
Yeah.
hear some people defend Deion. Deion Sanders has done all he could do at Jackson State. The coaching job has a limited ceiling. Go spread your wings, Prime. You would leave your job tomorrow for a $10 pay increase. Tweeted
Yeah.
73.9 and they lied. Whether let's see something else. Whether Deion Sanders left JSU this year or 10 years from now, they were going to be critics. For those against him moving on, how many seasons would have sufficed, in your opinion? I asked the same thing. Asked sports writer Sheena Quick. G noted that Sanders was earning less than his value at Jackson. Y'all
Yeah.
do understand that Deion Sanders literally didn't have to coach at all, right? And you know what? That would be okay. You understand that it's still your life, bro. You have the right, if you choose
Yeah.
to never do
He
nothing
ain't
for
wrong.
HBCUs. You
He
understand,
ain't
like that would be
wrong,
okay,
bro.
right?
But people, his pitch on, gotta love people feather because he was like, he trying to build the HBCU community.
I think he helped build it.
Yep, me too.
I think that's a pessimistic way to. I mean, I think that's an optimistic way to look at it. There's some
Mhm.
pessimistic views out there, but I look at it as, you know, they he could have set the blueprint.
Yeah.
I don't know. Y'all do understand that Sanders literally didn't have to coach at all, right? Ain't anything else he does is literally community service, and he owes nobody nothing. G tweeted. You know, I think those were some good points. I think this is a good one too. Some are asking to put the full weight of systemic and institutional deficiencies on one coach. Unless Coach Prime told you he was married to Jackson State for 10 years versus 3, it's unfair. If you love HBCU so much, some of you should get in the paint and contribute something. Donate. That's fair. And
Yeah.
yeah, man, like come on, man. He can't be the only person, bro. You gotta I don't want to drag this out too long. I actually have some information on what Cosby said on Twitter. He said that he hopes Deion Sanders fails, and I think, though he has a co-sign from Yvette Carnell and everything like that.
Oh,
I
Yvette co-signed that?
no, not that, not that comment. I want to be clear. I don't know if she co-signed that
Okay, don't do
comment,
that.
but she
Okay.
co-signed Cosby. So I'm saying that I rank him a little bit more high because if Yvette say you all right, I'm gonna feel like you might be all right. But I'm saying that I still don't think that saying that Dion should fail in any way, however you meant it, I think that makes you look like a real hater, dog. I feel like
There's
that's
power to
like,
Dion, bro. I mean, anybody that's wishing that you fail, it's like him even hearing that. Him like that's bulletin board material.
yeah.
That's you write that and you like, yeah, I got something for that. It's like doing that is like getting the complete opposite to happen. So it's like sometimes it's good to hear that. Sometimes we need to hear that and it.
So you think that correct me if I'm wrong, you're saying that Kevin W. Cosby's hate might be what motivates Dion to be successful. Like this could be a positive thing. He could use it as fuel to get the bag.
Yeah.
Okay, fair enough. Now I want to go to what I'm gonna go to his cosigns first. You feel me? Listen to what Yvette Carnell had to say about Dr. Cosby. Dr. Cosby's fundamental work is lighting a path for pastors, activists, and community members who are committed to an interpretation of scripture that specifically defines our predicament as a tyrannized group and daringly confronts our oppressors. That's from Yvette Carnell, co founder of the American Descendants of Slavery movement and host of Breaking Brown. Here's another endorsement from Antonio Moore. Dr. Cosby takes the fundamental elements of ADOS concepts and weaves them with theology with unique and daring perspective. Reading this book definitely pushes us forward on the road to reparative justice. And that's what Antonio Moore, co founder of the American Descendants of Slavery movement and host of Tone Talks, had to say about his book. So now we're going to go to Cosby's Twitter comments about Deion Sanders, of course. He actually said that he hopes that he fails, and this is him cleaning it up. He said, recently on Twitter, I made the comment that I hope Deion Sanders fails in his move from HBCU, Jackson State University, to the University of Colorado, Boulder. My statement was not intended to disparage or to wish ill will upon Deion on a personal level. When I said I hope he fails, now he has a full statement of what he says, right? I'm gonna go to his full statement, but let's stop there. Okay. Oh, damn, you done got missing on me?
No, I had to close that. Let me.
Okay. Okay. That's cool. We're gonna go to his full statement.
Yeah.
But I wanted to stop where we was at so far when he's saying that, oh, when I said that I hope he fails, I ain't mean it like that. Yeah. Just that beginning. How do you feel about that? Do you think that that was genuine or
Nah, he meant for him to fail. That's how he really felt.
But now he got to clean it up, and I think he's backpedaling. But let's see how good the backpedal is, because we're in agreement on that. Oh yeah, okay, here we are. And he made us come to the website to get the official statement. It's not like he just put it on Twitter. I thought that was clever. I want everybody to pay attention to that. That was clever. An official statement from HBCU president Dr. Kevin Cosby regarding his controversial tweet commented on Deion Sanders' exit from Jackson State University. Recently on Twitter, I made the comment that I hope Deion Sanders fails in his move from HBCU Jackson State University to the University of Colorado Boulder. My statement was not intended to disparage or to wish ill will upon Deion on a personal level. When I said I hope he fails, I was using the he in a plural sense and not in a singular. The he I was referring to is the entire system of inequity that prevents Black institutions such as HBCUs from competing with predominantly white institutions. I know from personal experience the impact that the Deion effect has upon HBCUs. I am blessed to be the only president in American history to restore an HBCU from the ground up. During Simmons' resurgence, I was constantly told by many among our city's leadership that the HBCUs are not needed or that they are inferior, second chance schools for Black kids who cannot make it at predominantly white institutions. When Deion told his players in his farewell address that coaches are either terminated or elevated, such language buys into the notion that leaving predominantly Black space to work in a predominantly white space is an elevation. Such language reinforces the myth of white supremacy and Black inferiority. Even if Deion meant that the elevation to Colorado is a financial and visible elevation for him, that begs the question, why can't Black institutions experience the same type of elevation? The answer lies in the resource and wealth disparity that exists between the Black and white communities. Black people are 13% of the population, but possess less than 3% of wealth in the United States. I'm going to stop there. I want people to read this in its entirety. You could go to Simmons College, ky.edu. He gives it on that Twitter quote, and he's popping some good shit. And I think that this is a good time to draw attention to the wealth disparity between HBCUs and predominantly white schools. I think it's a valid cause. I just don't agree with him trying to put it all on Deion. But I respect the marketing move, getting us all to come there and to direct the conversation to that. It doesn't get talked about enough, so I expect him to use this as an opportunity. But I still respect what Dion did, so I kind of respect both sides of it. That's my take on it. You got anything to
Good
add on
take.
that? Yeah.
That's a good take to have. That's how I feel.
Yeah.
I respect both sides and I understand why he's saying this. It's a reason we're stuck down here. And
Mm-hmm.
I respect what Dion did, but I hear what this man is saying and I could understand his frustration. Like, we don't have the funds to elevate people. So that was the elevation, what we did for you, the 300,000. And if people don't feel that is elevation, then that's a problem. That's a racist problem.
That's a perspective, you know. And we seen people got a lot of different perspectives. So I'm glad that we was able to have a conversation on it and kind of mentally massage the issue, if you will.
Yeah.
So the last story that I probably want to touch on is Ti admitting to snitching on his cousin after he died, and whether this is wrong morally. Is this something that we should care about? I mean, just to kind of give some context to have a jump off point, I'm going to share Ti speaking on the encounter in his own words, so I don't take anything out of context. Here we go.
Pull us over. Pull us over. I have a gun. Why are we going through the court process? And so we caught no gun cases. Two died. And, you know, my lawyer said, well, I can make everything go away if it two, if it was Tramel's. After he had passed, I had a talk with him.
What toothpaste?
He said, I take all the charges you got. If you can walk away free and put it on me, goddamn right.
So is that what boys giving you shit about because you put it on?
No, hell no.
Okay.
No. Don't nobody even know about that. I just volunteered. Don't nobody even know about that. I'm just being honest. That's the only time I done never said or gave no information about nobody because that's my cousin, my big cousin. He was dead, and he told me that it was okay. The police pull us over. Pull us over. I have a gun. Why are we going through the court process?
So yeah, that's let me go ahead and stop that. Now, how you feel about that, Bob? He said some interesting things.
It's nothing.
It's no big deal, right? The part I didn't like where like if you told on somebody that was dead, you know what I'm saying, it's really of no consequence. And we're not talking about like, something that could bring his family dishonor. We're just talking about a gunshot. You know what I'm saying? Um, I don't think it's that big of a deal. Is some people going to say that he's a snitch? He already has been called the tipster when he, was advocating for the tips hotline, and he took the stand when his friend Falon got killed. I think his name was Falon. He called him Phil. Remember, Ti testified in that case, was talking about people shooting at him, and then people also think it was real sketchy that he was able to like kind of duck some real jail time when he got caught with all those guns in that sting operation. So this is kind of just more fuel to that fire. Snitching is a big no. He's in a very heated beef with Charleston White right now, and Charleston White is attacking his character all the time. So do you think this is going to affect Ti's career moving forward?
It was bad marketing for him. He shouldn't have. This isn't a story that would fit the his marketing layout. Now I don't know what he's trying to promote, but yeah, it just puts him in a light of, even though it's no big deal, but it's just from your background, what you just explained, it's kind of a big deal. You know
to
what I
his
mean?
audience, right? Like there's
Yeah.
supposed to be no snitching. It's so serious that it's said that Birdman doesn't really fuck with his half brother Terrence Gangster Williams too tough because he was able to get out of jail, beat a life sentence without parole because he gave up some information about some murders on some people that had died already. And if you remember, Boosie went crazy on him and was speaking down on his name for doing that. So I wonder if Boosie is going to keep the same energy and start slandering T.I.'s name because going by Boosie's standards, T.I.'s a rat.
Yeah.
So let's see if he keeps the same
That's
energy.
crazy.
I mean, he want to talk about Dwayne Wade's kid and everything like that. He want to go back and forth with Gabrielle Union. I want to see if he gonna speak on this T.I. situation. He's on Vlad TV every 2 minutes. You know what I'm saying? Speaking on everybody's situation. I think Vlad got to ask him about this. What you think?
Yeah. That I remember him arguing with Terrence Gangster. Yeah. So yeah, that's a big interesting topic. But me, I feel like what Terrence did is not. But hold on, he said that it's more things that he did. That wasn't it. That telling on dead people wasn't the only thing that got him out. It was some other things. He cleared that out. He cleared that up. There were some other things too that he didn't name out, but he said there were some other things that helped with that.
I don't know. I'll admit I didn't really research that one too deeply. I sat through a couple-hour interview with Terrence Gangster Williams, though I don't remember him saying that. I don't doubt that he, sounds like something
The video you sent me, he said that.
Okay. I didn't even the one I sent you. I didn't even watch Terrence Gangster Williams speak on it, but Terrence Gangster Williams has a podcast, and he definitely brought up that question.
Yeah.
He wants
too.
So yeah. So I'm interested to see his take on that. Matter of fact, we should encourage people to check out Terrence Gangster Williams' podcast and get his perspective on the thing. And that's just an interesting conversation. I think the whole stop snitching thing, the don't snitch thing, I'm seeing that we might live to see the era where that kind of dies down a little bit. We got people advocating for snitching more and more every day. Yeah. I'm gonna be honest. We got people advocating. Look. We got people advocating more for snitching every day. 6ix9ine still has a career, and he's walking around as brazen as ever.
Right.
He's not the only person to have told.
Right. So we do need laws changed to where, just like you said with that 6ix9ine case, that could be looked at as not good because you got someone that was able to do a lot and sentence a lot of people who was around them got locked up. So I'm all for, if you do a time, I don't care if you tell or not. You could tell all you want. You still have to be, you still got to do the time. Just like, everybody got to be charged equally. You can't just be able to be like, okay, I'm finna do this and I get 7 years less. I don't feel like that's appropriate. So I feel like if you did the time with everybody, you deserve to be doing time. You can't just get off. You can't just get off because you told on everybody. You believe in that?
There's problems with that. I don't think that's really like of a question. I'm just saying that we could see past the no snitching era because there's people who don't really care about it as much as the older generation did, and there's so many people telling. Like there's more instances. Getting on the stand is telling. We watched the we cover a story where the baby was in an interrogation room and he was talking to the police about crimes.
Yeah.
I don't even hear people talking about that anymore. I feel like when we was coming up, that would be the end of somebody's career.
Yeah.
I feel like people are like testifying and telling on people now, and they're able to go on with their lives. There's not even nobody's knocking these guys' heads off or anything like that.
Yeah, because it's fast. It's like everybody's doing it. So it's like, I mean, when you knocking football numbers off people, sentence. I mean, what can you expect? It's like luring $500,000 in front of somebody and telling them, "Hey, man."
Yeah, and there's like, I just think that we could watch the whole stop snitching thing like morph. You know, if you're in a Mexican gang, you're allowed to like snitch on a black person. You can't snitch on nobody Mexican, but if you snitch on a black person, it's okay.
Are you serious? Who told you?
Yeah,
Man, I don't know. Okay.
man. Listen, man, that's what I heard.
Oh, okay.
It's like jail stuff. You know what I'm saying? So that's what.
Damn, that's crazy.
Yeah. So I'm just trying to tell you that the streets, it don't have to make 100% sense for like people to live and die by it. You know what I'm saying? The whole not snitching thing don't really make sense because I honestly don't think that it would have been smart for Ti to not put the gun on somebody that's not here anymore. Like I don't think that would have been worth doing time for. You know what I'm saying?
Right,
But
but
people,
instead of not snitching, it's just that I don't mind somebody telling them people what they got going on, bro. If that's what they do, that's what they're gonna do. The problem is it shouldn't be a race and a rush to see who we gonna get to try to tell because their number is gonna be the lowest time. Do you get what I'm saying?
yeah, but they just want to secure some convictions. You know, it saves the taxpayers money. You know, and they could get sometimes getting something is better than nothing. You know, so from their standpoint, you know, it's convenient. So it's like, I don't think it's good though. Like I think
It
that whole
doesn't make
system is not good. Like it gives
I
people an
can't
incentive to
trust
lie
these
on
people.
somebody.
I can't
I
trust.
get what you're saying. You're making a good point. Like they could just be lying to save themselves, you know. But
Right.
I mean, it's not a perfect system. I don't think that we should even be having cash bail and stuff like that because the prosecution could use that kind of leverage to make you plea out to a crime that you didn't do because you don't want to be sitting in jail for 3 months and your car to get repossessed and you lose your apartment. You more inclined to like pleading out. There's a whole business but behind plea deals. There's a
Yeah.
pleocracy going on, you know, in
Yeah.
the court system. So there's a lot of
Right.
problems with the criminal justice system that need to be addressed, and that's just one of them. So,
Yeah.
but yeah, man, that's pretty much all I got to say about that. We approaching an hour, man. We don't want to give them too much. We don't want to give them too much. Oh, we should leave them with a quote. I think a good quote to leave the folks with was that quote that Jamie Raskin
Oh yeah.
dropped, man. I'm just gonna quote him. As my GOP colleagues try to block the Respect for Marriage Act, I remind them what we taught anti-gay politicians a decade ago. You placed your hand on the Bible and swore to uphold the Constitution. You didn't place your hand on the Constitution and swear to uphold the Bible. That's a quote from Jamie Raskin. Good night, folks.
All right, we'll catch y'all in the next one. Peace.